Welcome aboard. Nope, that's not it.
Off to a hot start. Take two.
Welcome back to the Monday Morning Monorail podcast. This is the Disney Deep Dive with the Dawes. And joining me to make it a complete deep dive that includes the Dawes is one Landon, the Dawes Doan. Landon, welcome back to the Monorail.
Always glad to be here bright and early on said Monday morning monorail. Though FYI, maybe bring one of those fun like breathy mask things that you see in Grey's Anatomy and all those outbreak movies that everybody loves, because there might be something going around said monorail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is gonna look like maybe Tokyo Disney Sea or something. We're all going to be walking in our face mask because all of us have a little touch of something going on. It is just a germ-filled monorail this week. But we're going to power through it. If you notice, my voice might have a little deeper timbre. I don't know why I became dude from Drew Carey. What's his name?
I think his name is Dude from Drew Carey.
Oh yeah, that guy, the boss. But anyway, I'm struggling with it too. Landon had some flu-like symptoms.
Yeah, it cost me a trip to Metallica.
Oh god.
Yeah,
that's serious business. If you know Landon, it has to be serious to miss a Metallica show.
that would have been my 7th time seeing James and the Boys.
Yeah, so obviously something's going on. Luckily, we're recording at a safe distance all the way across.
Yeah, that's the beautiful thing about recording podcasts. You can still be patient zero and still hit your deadline. So
That's exactly right. And technology allows us to do so. You know what else technology allows us to do? Segway. It allows us to fly to the moon. Not on a Segway, on a rocket.
I was going to say, wow, Segway's got really good.
That's probably the next step in Segway's personal space travel.
Yeah, just
I'd
hold
be
your
on
breath.
board.
You'll be fine.
I would be on board for that. But until we have a personal transportation unit that can take you out to the moon or maybe even to Mars, you can fly to Mars. You can still do that at Epcot, or as I like to call it, Epcot Center. But even before that, at the Magic Kingdom Park, you could have stepped inside a rocket and flown to the moon a mere 3 years after men actually landed on the moon. You yourself could have stepped into a rocket and flown to the moon, or at least had the experience of doing so with an attraction called Flight to the Moon, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. And then its successor, which was, of course, Mission to Mars, because, I mean, after people have gone to the moon, it's not quite as exciting to think about, well, sometime in the future we're going to go to the moon. No, we did.
Yeah, we definitely did that, yeah.
What is this, Today Land? This is supposed to be Tomorrowland.
Todayland just sounds terrible.
I feel like that's a new T-shirt. What is this, Today Land?
Everybody go stand in line to pick up your dry cleaning. Ooh, the wonders of today.
In the future, you will be able to use a small device, a handheld device, and summon transportation from place to place.
Ooh.
By
the way, speaking of T-shirts, be sure to head over to what is it? T Republic, T-Bubble, T Public, T something or another, and be sure to get your official Monday Morning Monorail merchandise, including a T-shirt with this beautiful mug on it, the Godfather of Chicken Nugget.
It's beautiful. It's the best design yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's really good. And Landon,
according to my mom, she says it's the best design on the site. So.
Oh, absolutely. And, Landon is trying to get his funds together for his trip to Disney this summer. So help sponsor that trip by purchasing your Godfather of Chicken Nugget gear.
Yeah. I actually like that. Any money you get from that shirt should go directly to me so I can then spend it at Disney. On booze. Booze at Disney. Okay, there we go.
You'll get some sort of predetermined percentage.
Okay, cool. Wait, percentage?
No. Moving on. So, Flight to the Moon, Mission to Mars. There's a lot of iconic kind of Tomorrowland, I would say, scenes or environs, sounds, audio, like all the stuff that kind of goes into this attraction really is classic vintage Tomorrowland. And one of the things that I just wanted to point out was, if you're ever walking through Tomorrowland and you hear an announcement paging Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom Morrow.
Tom Morrow, yeah.
This is where you would have actually been able to meet Mr. Tom Morrow because he was your, what do they call it, flight director in mission control?
The hostess with the mostest.
He was the hostess with the mostest.
Wait a minute. No.
Yeah, in the pre-show room, you actually walk in and you get to see mission control full of animatronics, and one of them was Mr. Morrow himself, actually explaining what you're going to experience on this trip, this flight to the moon. So,
oh, I get it. Why they call it Flight to the Moon. Oh, okay. All right.
exactly. Yeah. And of course, this is another one of those attractions that both Landon and I did not exist before it closed. We, we didn't get to witness
It's a fun way of putting it. We didn't exist.
We didn't exist yet. Yeah. So RIP Flight to the Moon. But Mission to Mars was the one that I remember, and a lot of it was very similar. They didn't change much, just the destination. Yeah. So. Why haven't we talked about this one yet? Well, this was because this one was not a day one attraction, even though it's another example of an attraction that was brought over from Disneyland, and it actually opened in Disneyland in 1955. So at that point, it was relevant.
It was ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But for us, it didn't open in Walt Disney World until Christmas Eve, 1971. So it was a bit of a Christmas present for people who might be taking a little trip to come see the parks for the holidays, or the park for the holiday. There was no Epcot at this point, only Magic Kingdom. And they would have been able to step on to this attraction at that point. But, there's videos out there. There aren't a lot, in my experience or my research, searching through YouTube and trying to find good videos of Flight to the Moon. I couldn't find a lot of good ones. There's some that have all the audio, but it's like still shots. Maybe you'll have more success than I did, Landon. I don't know if you tried to
search. There was one particularly that came to mind that I even thought while I was watching it, like, dang, this is a well thought out and put together video. Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up here real quick.
I was successful in finding some Mission to Mars videos, but maybe I need to look for Rocket to the Moon. Maybe there's a good one from Disneyland, because that was actually what it was called when it first opened out there.
Let's see. Yeah, it was a video. Well, excuse me, I misspoke. This was a Mission to Mars video. It was from martinsvids.net on YouTube. That is the username. Very well put together. Gives you a pretty much like beginning to end complete experience of the Mission to Mars from Walt Disney World. It's called the Ultimate Anniversary Tribute. So
okay.
I guess I misspoke. I was not able to find any Flight to the Moon footage.
No, that's okay. That was my experience as well. But if you do watch the Mission to Mars videos, it's very similar to what you would have experienced in Flight to the Moon. So essentially, when they decided, we've opened this up, it's already outdated, we need to update it, make it a little more.
That has to be a super great feeling. All right, we finally got this attraction opened, and it's several years behind.
Yeah, in the ride, they're telling you, imagine a day when we'll actually fly to the moon. You're like, yeah, we've done it.
Yeah, I know. I watched it. Walter Cronkite told me about it.
On July 20th, 1969, Neil Armstrong himself, as part of the Apollo 11 mission, he's like, been there, done that. Imagine if he went to Disneyland. He's like, nope, this is not at all what it's really like. You guys are wrong.
Or imagine if Buzz Aldrin went there, like today, because remember, Buzz Aldrin will fight people if they tell him that the moon landing was fake. And also, he was awesome on 30 Rock, too.
Yeah, he was pretty good, yelling at the moon.
I walked on your face!
That's interesting. I wonder if Buzz or Neil or any of the Apollo astronauts rode the Flight to the Moon ride, and then what their opinions of that were.
I mean, they're probably going to say it's not as authentic as the real thing. But, I mean, probably the ice cream was better than the real thing, too. So, I mean, positives and negatives.
I love astronaut ice cream.
Oh, I do, too. But at the same time, like, it's no Mickey Mouse ice cream.
No, you're right. Mickey Mouse ice cream bar is now available in your local grocery store.
Maybe, if you can find them.
Oh, yeah. It can be difficult. But if you do, stock up. Buy multiple boxes.
Yeah, that thought did cross my mind. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I went with 2. I felt like that was enough. But
screw that. I'm preparing for the apocalypse. I'm going to buy everything.
Oh yeah, yeah. You got to. You got
I'm
to.
going to spend $702 on ice cream bar.
Mickey only turns 90 once. Who knows when they'll release these back in local grocery stores ever again? So get them while you can. But anyway, so pre-show, we're all over the place with this one.
Seriously, good luck editing this, buddy.
Pre-show, you walk in, you're in a room, and the way I would describe it is imagine Rock and Roller Coaster, the pre-show where you're in the studios, or even the pre-show for Stitch or
Steven
Alien.
Tyler does this little hand gesture.
Hold on a minute. That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's like, what is it? Yeah.
There's a little thing with his fingers.
There it is, yeah.
That's just for YouTube. Go to YouTube and check out our Steven Tyler. I've even got bandanas tied to my microphone stand. Not really.
Yeah, yeah. We have pyro too.
I would do a Steven Tyler scream, but I can't pull it off right now.
Yeah, I'm just now starting to feel not like death, so I'm not gonna push my luck.
But you're standing in a room. If I remember right, there were lean rails in the room, but I could be wrong. And you get to view through the glass at the animatronic mission control inhabitants with their Apple computer screens or Macintosh computer screens sitting in front of them, and Mr. Tom Morrow tells you all about your trip. When you move into the actual ride auditorium, I'm going to call it, it's a theater in the round. So we already talked about this setup because it was the same setup as Alien Encounter and Stitch's Great Escape.
Yes, the much beloved Stitch's Great Escape.
Yeah. So
the consensus best attraction ever by everybody.
Yeah, it's actually like they've got it like engraved on the Stitch's Great Escape ride marquee. It actually says,
quote, "This is the best ride ever. Don't question it. Suck it, nerds."
#1 all-time fan favorite.
Yeah, like I was surprised the plaque got really hostile there towards the end. I don't understand it.
But yeah, you do. You go into sort of a theater in the round scenario, and this was prior to shoulder harnesses, so you didn't have those. But you did have kind of a circular screen on the floor in the middle of the room, and then there was a screen on the ceiling and kind of screens on the walls around you. And this was just like a 360 kind of a theater experience. You would have, during the flight, you would have felt rumbling. The screen on the floor, you can look and watch as the Earth shrinks and disappears behind you, and they show you things like your travel route, map quest through space up on the screen.
Stitch eating chili dogs.
Does anyone map quest anymore? Is that
not no more? Yeah, Apple came along and said, "Guess what? We's going to eat your lunch," and then Google is like, "We're going to eat the crumbs too."
Yeah.
Like nowadays, like saying like, "Yeah, I'm going to map quest something." That's like saying I'm going to call up Movie Phone for movie times, or hold on, let me open my internet browser so I can ask Jeeves a question. Like at one point, the internet was so jacked up. It's like, I'm not even going to ask my own questions. I'm going to ask a fake butler questions to look up for me.
Because that's the way butlers work. They stand around.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, we've all seen Batman. It's like Alfred's there. Yes, Master Wayne. I will ready the Batmobile and also look up what the weight of a guava cucumber is.
Hey, Alfred. What's that weird-looking dude's name in Fargo and all those movies? Oh, yeah, Steve Buscemi. Thank you, Alfred.
Master Wayne, that would be Steve Buscemi, sir.
Yeah. So before we had Ask Jeeves and all, or during the time, MapQuest. I don't know why that was my go-to.
You can quest your maps. Wow, bravo, dude. Yeah.
Oh.
Also, this segment of M340 is brought to you by Friendster.
Follow us on MySpace.
Yeah, the first people to follow us will make it into our top 8.
Oh Lord. So I don't even know where to go from here.
You're missing out if you're not watching us on YouTube. That's all I'll say.
It's really true. So let's talk about the show a little bit more. So one of the things that I always like to mention is that they tell you, every time I talk about Mission to Mars, I always mention it because I talk about it so often.
You do talk about it a lot now that you mention it.
I really do.
It's like, Jay, we're at an Arby's. Why do you keep bringing this up? Stop.
Arby's inspires Mission to Mars in my mind.
They have the meat. for sandwiches.
Well, the announcement, the flight director. Hey, there it is, flight director from. That's what I meant to call Mr. Morrow from the beginning.
Yeah, boom, there it is.
Oh, I made myself cry. I was laughing too hard. But he lets you know you're going to experience a period of weightlessness. So here's a spoiler: that doesn't happen because you can't simulate weightlessness in a room that's not moving. Really, it's kind of like it reminds me of when Landon, you and I went to space camp twice. And one of the things that people love to ask you is, did you get to go in the 0G room? There's no such thing.
Yes, of course we did. We lived in there. We took all of our lunches in there. No, unfortunately, like Jay said, that didn't exist.
Yeah, it's not real.
Not a thing.
Unless you go ride the affectionately named Vomit Comet, you cannot simulate 0 Gs within the Earth's atmosphere. You just.
Though I will say, I don't. Yeah, I think you were along on this trip to space camp when we went to the Birmingham one. They offered where you could pay extra. They would take you in like a small prop plane, and they would just do dives.
Yeah, dive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the reason I signed up for it is because in the pamphlet they misspoke or straight out lied. Said learn how to fly a plane.
Oh, you signed up for that?
Heck to the yeah, I did. 12-year-old Landon wanted to learn how to fly a plane, and they're going to teach me what it feels like to be weightless in space. Why wouldn't I?
Now, did you go through with it?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
I missed out on that. I did not know that you actually did that.
Yeah, I totally did it. But unfortunately, like I said in the brochure, it said learn how to fly a plane. But yeah, no, they thought better than to turn the reins of a plane over to a teenager. Because, apparently insurance is like, they're going to sue you for everything when they die. Not if, when they die. But it was fun. I mean, like I got to see my pin float off my pad or whatever, and then boom.
Did you get sick?
No, I didn't, surprisingly. Of course, that was back when I was of the age where I could do stuff like that. Because it's like, and I'm sure we'll get into this at a later date or podcast. When it first opened up, Islands of Adventure, the Spider-Man ride didn't give me any sort of stomach issue. The last time I went to Islands of Adventure on the Spider-Man ride, I got up. It's like, man, that was still an amazing ride, but I feel like I'm about to die, so I need to just stand over here.
Getting old is no fun.
Dude, tell me about it. Like, okay, yes, we can buy alcohol, which yay alcohol, but it's like I feel like I'm gonna die if I get off of an amusement park ride. That sucks.
Yeah.
Though the Wild Eagle at Dollywood did almost kill me. So.
Wow.
Or it felt like it almost killed me. I almost blacked out on that ride.
Oh my gosh, I had the same experience. So
yeah, going down the bank or whatever.
For me, it wasn't the first drop. It was like I don't know if it was maybe a turn or like a barrel roll situation. I was sitting on one of the outside seats, and I
was on the very outside. Yeah, and it was when we hit a bank or whatever, and it like threw me down. It's like, this is fun. And then I just see a bunch of black dots around my eyes, and it's like I start to go limp, and then I come back.
That was exactly my experience. It's like during one of those points of like negative G's or something. Like it did something to me, and that's the only time ever I felt like that. I was like, oh, here we go. Like lights are going out, and then it just stopped.
Yeah, and then you kick back in. It's like, oh man, that was weird. So Dollywood.
I've ridden it since and not had that experience. I don't know what it was about that particular ride, but
I only rode it the one time. It's like, yeah, no, I'd prefer my amusement park attractions to not kill me. So
yeah, I wonder if they've ever had that train roll back into the station. There's just people passed out.
And just
out, unconscious.
Yeah, it's like, dang it, we got a code 204. Like, dang it again.
Yeah. They have to have like a hose ready so they can just spray people in the face as the train's coming back in.
We need another crate of smelling salts. I guess just hold them here. Bring out the chicken lady to entertain the crowd. Go for chicken lady. Chicken lady, go. Yeah. What is going on? Where the hell are we?
We're all over the place.
Yes, we are.
I think we've kind of given you the feel of it at this point.
Yeah, go to Dollywood, like almost black out on the Iron Eagle. Wait, no, the Wild Eagle.
Wild Eagle, yeah.
Yeah, Iron Eagle. Don't fucking write. Whoops.
That's our first F-bomb. Wow.
Hey, you know what? I'm kind of proud of myself. I made it this far without dropping one.
I am very impressed. Yeah.
Yeah, just go ahead and cut all of that.
No, I'm just gonna. I want it in because it's hilarious. I'm gonna bleep it. That was pretty amazing.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, while we're in just editing mode, the WWE Network has crashed again, and it paused at a point where Braun Strowman. I'm gonna see if I can take a picture of it. It looks like there are no words to describe it. So this is going to work really well for our audio podcast. But Jay, this one's for you.
All right.
Yeah, you do whatever. It's like I think I'm done for this episode.
My printer is now getting involved in the conversation.
Is that what that noise is?
Yeah. Okay.
Ah, sweet. All right. The network crashed, but I got the picture. I just sent it to you.
So Mission to Mars closed its doors officially on October 4th of 1993 and would not reopen again until the successor, the extraterrestrial alien encounter, opened up in 1995. So
yes.
It definitely was not just a let's fly to a new destination. At this point, it was a whole new experience. And if you want to hear all about the extraterrestrial experience, you'll have to go back to October when we were doing our spooky M340s, because
it was spooky. And spoiler alert: one of the people on this segment was scared of
it. We won't tell you who. Go find out.
Exactly. I'm not going to tell you. It's me.
Yeah.
Wait, crap.
So, all right. Well, I think that'll wrap it up. This was kind of a Wild Eagle / Flight to the Moon / Mission to Mars /
It was definitely a segment. I think that's all we can say about it.
And MapQuest segment.
Yeah, shout out to MapQuest and Ask Jeeves.
So, Landon, thanks so much for helping me explore this trip to the moon and to Mars. If you all listen, I've got some tips for you. I know you want to hear more of Landon. You definitely do. And you're probably fans of Game of Thrones because everybody is. Well, if you go to buttmunchchips.com, you will find much more Landon content, including Game of Thrones Talk, or Got Talk, the Game of Thrones podcast, which will be coming back when season 8 hits the news.
Not just season 8, the final season.
The end of an era. We're going to find out who wins the Game of Thrones.
Nobody does. I'm calling it right now. Nobody does.
No, nobody's going to win. We all lose, even the Finns, because they're going to kill everybody we love. We know it. But come back for that. Also visit Butt Munch Chips for Near Fall Radio if you're a fan of the sweet science of professional wrestling. Today,
that's a thing.
As we record this, we're the Royal Rumble pre-show started at 7 in the morning, and the show probably won't end until midnight. So it's a day of Royal Rumble festivities, and at some point, Landon and I are going to fire up the old podcast machine and record some more stuff about. Maybe we'll talk about All Elite Wrestling. Who knows?
Yeah, AEW. I'm kind of excited about that. Jay, would you like to make an impromptu guess or prediction about tonight's Royal Rumble, or at this point, yesterday's Royal Rumble for your listeners?
Oh yeah, so this is going to be dated, just like Flight to the Moon when it opened at Walt Disney World.
Full circle.
This prediction is already outdated as soon as you hear it. Congratulations, Seth Rollins, for winning the Royal Rumble.
Okay.
That's what I keep hearing people say. That's what's going to happen. So.
Yeah, that feels like one of the most likely outcomes. What about on the ladies' side?
On the ladies' side, I'll be honest, I don't know the full list of participants. I'm going to go with, who would make the most sense for a matchup at WrestleMania? Let's just say Ember Moon? I don't know.
Okay, that seems fun. All right, I like that.
She's fun to watch, and I think she needs
She
a
is
shot.
fun to watch. Yeah, she could have a fun spot at Mania. Yeah, I like that.
You want to go on the record? Who do you want to, or who are you expecting to win?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No. I'm just kidding. I will predict. Part of me wants to say like Seth Rollins was going to be my pick, but I want to be different from you, and also like I'm going to be honest. Like Seth Rollins and Brock Lesnar doesn't move the needle for me. I'm going to go off script here. I'm going to predict that Finn Balor wins the Royal Rumble, and not the man Finn Balor, the demon Finn Balor, because at Royal Rumble, the man Finn Balor is going to fight Brock Lesnar, and the man's got to come up a little bit short. But he then decides to dig a little bit deeper into himself and tap into that demon, and we see the demon Finn Balor win the Rumble, and we see the rematch of the demon versus the Beast at Mania. And then on the female side, I'm going to go with Becky Lynch, because if I have the option to pick Becky Lynch, I'm never not going to pick the man. So there you go.
The man.
She's the man. Drink up.
All right, Landon. Well, thanks so much for joining me for another M34D. I'll see you here next week, and we'll do it all again.
LANDOZ. Please go follow me.
How could I forget? Landon
on
Jones.
Twitter. Landon. He's there.